Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to the Purva Acharyas. And I pay my obeisances to the 12 alvars of the Sri Ramanuj Sampradaya. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse on live feed, locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted in the various groups from around the world subsequently. Our topic on the three gunas continue, and we're going to juggle a few topics and condense them into one discourse linked to the three gunas. And I'm going to start off by answering a question that Hemiata asked. What was the question, Hemiata?
I cannot remember.
Okay, so Hemiata's question was that the Guru said in last week's discourse that information, when it becomes nomadic, it gets altered along the way. And she was a bit specific. She said, Om, when it landed in Christianity, it became Amen. And then when it landed in Islam, it became Amin. And she said that the friends whom she discusses spirituality with wants to know, how do we know that the Vedas are authentic and they did not change along the way? Because it was also stated that I was wearing a sea green outfit, and how this outfit, after many descriptions to by many people, landed sea blue, and how the Vedas remains original and authentic. And it is a good question. Let us examine. What is Sanatan Dharma?
Eternal duty.
Eternal?
Duty.
Eternal means?
Forever.
Duty means?
Things you're supposed to do, it's your duty.
Okay. Things to be done forever. And what is to be done forever? Nadira? This is a Reservoir Satsang. Nadira was in Berlin.
Oh, not in there.
Service to God.
Yes. Any service to God is called worship. Service to God is called. And when we say sacrifice, Hemiata, what do we mean?
Sacrifice of our time.
Yeah, it simply means worship. Sacrifice means worship. Alright? So we're talking about eternality. Sanatan Dharma is eternal, and there is a function of the soul, which is also eternal. The Supreme Lord is eternal. The souls are parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord. They are eternal, and the relationship between the Supreme Lord and the parts and parcels of the Lord are also eternal, and that relationship, there is surrender and worship. Anand, you need to keep quiet, otherwise I'll have to ask you to leave. If that which is eternal, it means it can never be changed. Whatever is eternal can never be changed. Now we are saying the Vedas is eternal, it cannot be changed or altered or tampered with. Because there are many systems in South Africa currently, even today, not only in South Africa, around the world, wherever they are purported to be Hindus, but I'm speaking specifically in South Africa, there are many systems that are aligning or synchronizing themselves to be Sanatan Dharma with absolutely no knowledge of the Vedas or any practice of the Vedas. There are also many groups, many groups on Facebook that purporting themselves to be Sanatan Dharma, and then you find the admins or group of people that administrating these groups have not even read one verse from the Vedas. You'll find that if your view is different to theirs, Hemiata, I'm sure you experienced this, then they will remove you from this group called Sanatan Dharma. There are some groups that's called Sanatan Dharma with a prefix, alright? And when our discourses, which is the cream of Sanatan Dharma, is posted in these groups, because these people who created this group have absolutely no inkling as to what Sanatan Dharma is, and they believe that their views on Sanatan Dharma should not be tampered with, then they remove our postings or our members from the group. Yet they have formed groups called Sanatan Dharma, and this is the danger. This is the danger. Then there's also various groups that are purporting themselves to be warriors of Sanatan Dharma / Hinduism. Sanatan Dharma / Hinduism. So when you fight for something, Dana, when will you engage yourself in a fight? Hemiata? When will you engage yourself in a fight?
When something wrong is being done.
To that which is something right. To that which is something right. First, you have to know that something which is right, and then you can fight. If you don't know that which is right, then you can't become a warrior all of a sudden. Then there are global risings now. Because we live in an age of information technology, we live in a global village, all right? And information is just a touch away. Then we can see there's global uprising. Hinduism now, there's a great awakening of, or reawakening of Hinduism around the world. Okay, we can see this. But we are also noting that those that want to take this dimension forward have peripheral knowledge only of Sanatan Dharma and Hinduism. But they want to be in the driving seat. They want to be in the driving seat of driving this reawakening of Hinduism forward. So God created, when God created this universe, side by side He created a system which He divided into four. He created society into four systems: the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaisvas, and the Sudras. And the reason He did this was that it is the duty of the Brahmanas to teach the Kshatriyas, who are the warriors of Sanatan Dharma. But now what's happening, the so-called warriors want to fight Sanatan Dharma or fight for Sanatan Dharma without being taught by the Brahmins. So they are fighting an illusion. They are fighting an illusion. As long as these warriors do not get backing from all the bona fide gurus in the world, if they do not sit in conferences and glean the absolute truth from the bona fide gurus in the world, and then take and reawaken the giant called Sanatan Dharma, they're going to fail miserably. They're going to fail miserably because they're doing what the Nadira, you heard the elephant story? Did you hear the story of the elephant, Nadira? Never yet? Okay. Let me just stop this discourse right in its track and explain to Nadira the elephant story. Alright, Nadira?
Not in your frame of mind today.
Okay, don't worry.
I'll tell you what happened in the morning.
No, you can tell me after discourse, Nadira, but now just listen to the elephant story, alright? So the elephant, Nadira, goes to the river and has a beautiful bath. Very beautiful bath. There's not a grain of sand, Nadira, on the body of the elephant. Such a clean bath. And the elephant makes sure its bath is absolutely clean. And then after a beautiful bath, Nadira, it goes and rolls himself in the sand again. can you see the futility of having a bath? Wasted time. Similarly, those that are purporting to push Sanatan Dharma with peripheral knowledge is like the elephant having a bath and rolling in the mud again. You must have substantive knowledge. You must know Sanatan Dharma. You must be a practitioner of Sanatan Dharma for you to be a warrior of Sanatan Dharma. You understand? The Guru is not going to go and fight on the streets and hold placards and have debates on TV. This is not the job of the Guru. Okay? The Guru will teach the basics to these administrators of Sanatan Dharma who may go forward into the world and reawaken Sanatan Dharma, which is lying dormant now due to the influence of Kali Yuga. Okay? You can't pick up arms and start fighting without training. Without training. You have to undergo a process of training. Right? And in Sanatan Dharma we practice ahimsa. What is ahimsa? Non-violence. So if you picking up arms in Sanatan Dharma, if you are picking up arms in Sanatan Dharma, if you want to be a warrior, if you want to be a warrior in Sanatan Dharma, then what would be your arms that you're going to take in the reawakening?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. That knowledge, the source of that knowledge or the source of that arms that you need to go and fight comes from whom?
From your Guru.
The Guru gives you the artillery, you take it and load it into your firearm and shoot Maya dead. Shoot Maya dead. So if you are not taking arms, from the supplier, and if you are fighting on behalf of Sanatan Dharma, Dhana, coming from the military, you are shooting blanks. You are shooting blanks. And when you shoot blanks, there will be a big noise. There will be a huge noise, but no impact. Huge noise, but no impact. So I'm noticing this is what's happening now in our world today. In our world today, various groups are taking up arms. They want to fight Sanatan Dharma. They're opening groups called Sanatan Dharma. Various groups of Hinduism have been opened. But they do not want to accept the bullets from the Gurus. They do not want to accept the bullets from the Gurus. They are content to shoot blank shots. And like the elephant, they'll have a bath, go back in the mud. Are you understanding? There's various temples. And again we'll stick around in South Africa. Alright? Any Tom, Dick or Harry sitting anywhere, anytime, even over a drink in a pub, can decide, let's open a temple. So if a group of 4 people is sitting and 2 are Shiva devotees, then they'll open a temple for Lord Shiva. They'll collect donations, they'll harass the society, and they'll build their temple. Not one person in that committee, they'll become presidents, they'll become chairmen, they'll become treasurers, and there's a huge Shiva temple somewhere. They would not have read one verse on who Lord Shiva is. They'll run an entire temple. They'll have executive members, but they won't know who Lord Shiva is. Then the community, because of their lack of knowledge, when they see a particular temple designated to a particular deity, then they would believe that these members who founded this temple are well versed in this particular deities. So they will give deep respect to these executive members, thinking they know who this particular deity is, and it's called the blind leading the blind. It's called the blind leading the blind. Okay? Like, let's take our Goshala. How many of you have been to other Goshalas? Where you went? Okay, we won't mention names. Alright, but you went to other Goshalas. The prerequisite of a Goshala is that the Go-Matas must be Brahmin. Number 1, Go-Matas must be Brahmin. If a Goshala does not have Brahmin Go-Matas, then you cannot worship that Go-Mata. You cannot worship that Go-Mata if it is not a Brahmin. But here in South Africa, any Tom, Dick and Harry is opening a Goshala. He doesn't know the basic fundamental Vedic injunction that a Go-Mata must be a Brahmin Go-Mata and Vaishnavism must be practiced in that Goshala. Vaishnavism must be practiced in the Goshala. And what is Vaishnavism?
Worship of Lord Vishnu.
Worship of Lord Vishnu, either directly or indirectly Lord Krishna or Lord Sri Ram. Because both Lord Sri Krishna and Lord Sri Ram were very, very, very much engaged in Go-Mata Seva when they took their birth various times in this universe or universes. Alright? So right now we have how many universes floating in the Mahat Tattva?
Innumerable.
Innumerable. So somewhere Lord Ram is taking birth, And somewhere Lord Krishna has taken birth. You understand? So these fundamentals about Goshalas must be followed diligently. Okay? But these so-called presidents, chairmen, executive members, Sanatan Dharma, you must practice ahimsa. What is ahimsa?
Non-violence.
Non-violence to whom?
All living entities.
All living entities. Animals, plants,
Humans.
human, birds.
Bees.
When you are qualified to practice ahimsa, then you become qualified as a Sanatan Dharmi to preach, or to lead Sanatan Dharma, or to load your Sanatan Dharma gun and fight Kali Yuga or Maya. You understand? You have to come to the level of ahimsa. At the level of ahimsa, there's no meat eating, no drinking, no smoking, no swearing, and no sacrificing animals. I said the word sacrifice means worship. Okay? And no worshipping through killing. No worshipping through killing. So you can't run a temple, run a Goshala, be executive members purporting to be members of Sanatan Dharma if you are not practicing Sanatan Dharma yourself. And this is the greatest killer of Sanatan Dharma. Because these executive members, super executive members of these temples, do you know what's a dean of a university? And do you know what's the faculties and the different department heads that run the universities, what they are called?
Heads of department.
Professors. They are professors. Can you go to a university where the dean of university does not know the alphabets? Oh yeah. If the head of the university does not know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. If the dean, the head of the university does not know that, if his professors does not know that, can that university be an institution of learning? Can't be. And if you get followers in that university, Charles enjoying this part. Charles is happy, he's enjoying this part. He's smiling from ear to ear. Maybe because he's sitting next to his boss. Maybe his boss whispered something like increase in his ear. Alright? Can you go to a... Then imagine all these fools. All these fools following all these fools. They are all fools. If you run in a temple, if you run in a Goshala, you must be well versed in the alphabets of Sanatan Dharma. And what is the alphabets of Sanatan Dharma?
Vedas.
The 4 Vedas. And because it's Kali Yuga, and you don't know the 4 Vedas, there's a shortcut that Lord Sri Krishna has devised. What's the shortcut?
Bhagavad Gita.
The Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita. You must know the 700 verses in the Bhagavad Gita. You must know the 700 verses in the Bhagavad Gita. You must be practicing ahimsa. You must be a vegetarian. You must not eat meat. You must not drink. You must not swear. You must not smoke. Then the public can see and learn from you. All of you understand? You understand. Let's get back to the question. Hemiata's question, which the Guru remembered fair pattern. Who remembered? The Guru. Okay? Shanti, your daughter's question, the Guru remembered. Okay? So let's test a question. Eternal means everlasting. Eternal means everlasting. It will always be. Let's see. Alright? And let's start off with Om, because she said Om, Amen and Amen. Then let's practically understand this. NASA is a set of materialist scientists, aren't they? NASA is a set of materialist scientists, and they found the frequency Om vibrating in the sun. Who found this? They found the frequency Om vibrating in the sun. What the Vedas, what the Upanishads, what the Chandogya Upanishad says? The Chandogya Upanishad says that the frequency Om, Hemiata, if you all do anything, you are disturbing. Right? The frequency Om vibrates in the sun, and we saying that the earliest date this Upanishad was recorded in or reduced to write in would be around 5,000 years ago. So 5,000 years ago, our sages stated that the frequency Om will vibrate in the sun. And is it vibrating in the sun 5,000 years later? Although not necessary, but confirmed by NASA. So what does that tell you about the Vedas, Hemiata? Although it went from Om to Amen to Amen, what's vibrating in the sun? What frequency is vibrating in the sun? So it means that the Vedas is constant. It is constant. Why is it constant? Why cannot the Vedas be changed, Hemiata?
Because God Himself incarnated and compiled the Vedas.
Because the Vedas is eternal. And eternal means no change. No change in that substance or mode or attribute. Whatever it is, it means it cannot be changed. Newton's law. Name me one of Newton's law.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
How long ago was this law found out?
I'm not sure.
You think? 100 years? Shanti? Newton's law? 150 years? Did Newton create this law, or did he discover this law?
Discovered it.
Newton, whether he discovered this law or not, was this law in existence?
Yes.
Was it in existence?
Yes.
Was it in existence from creation?
Yes.
Does it matter whether this law was discovered or not? Does it help the law to be discovered?
No. This helps the people.
Helps the people and not the law itself. So we have stated that Sanatan Dharma is not a religion, it is a science. And all sciences exist from the moment of creation. All sciences exist from the moment of creation. Does it not? Who discovered the law of gravity? Same man? Who? Anand? Who discovered the law of gravity? Now you can talk. Does it affect the law of gravity that it was discovered in any way? It is a science that was created at creation. All these sciences that emanated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead at creation is called Sanatan Dharma. It's called Sanatan Dharma, and this is why Sanatan Dharma cannot be changed. Sanatan Dharma can be experienced by all the religions on this earth. Sanatan Dharma can be experienced through human of all the religions on this earth. Whether you believe in Sanatan Dharma or not does not matter. Whether one believes in Sanatan Dharma or not does not matter. Whether one believes in the theory of action and reaction of Sir Isaac Newton does not matter. That action will always be going on. And similarly, Sanatan Dharma in the background continues to live. No matter how many religions you impose on it, it lives through you. And it lives through your religion. It lives through your mode of tamas. It lives through your mode of rajas. And it lives through your mode of satagun. But when you are in satagun, then you can start understanding and experiencing Sanatan Dharma. You can start experiencing Sanatan Dharma as an individual for your own benefit when you are in satagun. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm going to both my camera people, their head went very fast, no, which means the satsang must end. This discourse must end soon. Okay? And Hemiata, who's transcribing this discourse?
I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Vishishtadvaita is not well. Don't you think when somebody is not well and performs seva in the illness, somebody is not well and perform seva in the illness, don't you think that's real and great seva?
Yes.
So you give the seva to Vishwadhar. We want to see his greatness in seva. And Vasudeva is enjoying this. Vasudeva is enjoying this. Hemida, you take a break. Vishwadhar won't sleep tonight. Vishwadhar won't sleep
Today.
because this discourse must be completed by today. So he's flying down to the Narayan Dham tomorrow. Okay, are you happy?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so let's lengthen it for him a little bit.
Not too much.
Not too much. Okay. So as usual, if you are preaching Sanatan Dharma, then you have to produce evidence. You have to produce evidence. So we are on chapter 17, verse 1. Chapter 17, verse 1. And Arjuna is asking Lord Shri Krishna, now what, O Krishna, is the position or basis of those who leave aside the injunctions of Shastra yet worship with faith? Is it Sattva, Rajas or Tamas? Who's asking this? Arjuna. And the Lord said, threefold is the faith of embodied beings, born of their own nature, constituted of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Listen now about it. Verse 3, the faith of everyone, O Arjuna, is in accordance with his internal organ, which is the Antakarana, the mind. Man consists of faith. Whatever his faith is, that verily is he. Verse 4, the Sattvika types worship the gods. The Rajasa types worship Yakshas and Rakshas. And the others, the Tamasa type, worship the departed ancestors and the host of Bhuttas. And the host of Bhuttas. I thought I had a Bhuta entering my ashram. Let me see. Is there a Bhut here? Is there a Churail here? Okay. Verse 5, those men who practice terrible austerity not enjoined by the Shastras, given to ostentation and conceit, and prompted by the force of sensual desires and passion, which continues in verse 6, these foolish men, torturing the groups of element in the bodies, and me also, who dwells in the body, know them to be demonical in results. Alright? So if you fast, and if you purport yourself to be worshipping, and if you're doing it from your own mind without following the Vedas, then you are demonic in nature. And if you open temples, and if you open goshalas, and if you do not follow the prescriptions of the Shastras itself, then you are running a demonic institution, and those that are following you, Vasudeva, are also demonic in nature. Now the Guru is not saying this. The Guru is not saying this. If you purport yourself to be Sanatan Dharmi, if you say, I am a Hindu and this is a Hindu organization, and if your organization is not running according to the Vedas or within the parameters of the Vedas, then Lord Shri Krishna is stating that your institution is demonic in nature. Verse 11. The worship marked by sattva is what is offered by those desiring no fruit and having the conviction that it should be performed as enjoined in the Shastras. Again, the worship marked by sattva is what is offered by those desiring no fruit and having the conviction that it should be enjoined in the Shastras. So if you want to practice Sanatan Dharma, then you have to be in sattvic mode. And when you are in sattvic mode, you can run your institution in Sanatan Dharma. And sattvic mode means ahimsa. And in ahimsa there is non-injury, no smoking, no drinking, no fighting, no obscene language, no negativity at all. But verse 12, but that worship which is offered with fruit in view and for the sake of ostentation. Sita, look for the meaning of the word ostentation. Know it, Arjuna, to be Rajasika. And number 13, that worship which is bereft of authority, which uses offerings not sanctioned by the Shastras, which is performed without recitation of hymns and bereft of gifts and faith, that they say is marked by tamas. Vishwadhar is there, hoping no more.
He usually starts transcribing when you start talking.
Yeah. The Guru had a plan for him. Guru had a plan for Vishwadhar. Guru had a plan for Vishwadhar, Ramanuj, Das and Dasan. What's the meaning?
It means the pretentious or showy display of wealth.
Okay, stop there. If you want to become a chairman of an organization, if you want to become an executive member of an organization, to show the public, if you want to invest, to get a seat on these executive members, you are in Rajasic mode. You are in Rajas. And there is no Sanatan Dharma that vibrates in Rajas. Jai Shriman Narayan.